Students, welcome to the sixth part of Unit 6 video sessions. We have started with advanced technologies that come under last session from Unit 6. And in that we have already started the first technology, and that was Bootstrap. We have seen many things related to Bootstrap, that how it is used, what is Bootstrap actually, how it is used in the web services, and how it is actually working in the code. Plus we have also seen the types of the things that made the framework of Bootstrap. The main things that are related with Bootstrap are HTML, CSS and JavaScript based framework. So mainly Bootstrap it is used for responsive web services. Okay, so that whatever we see on mobile phones and desktop, so any site which we search for, maybe on your tablet or desktop, or it may be on mobile, so it is visible in proper view with the help of Bootstrap. So all these things we have gone through in the last session. Plus we have also seen the examples of how the Bootstrap is helping in contextual manner. Okay, plus how to display the primary text or the important message, or the any warning if there, the success message. We have seen all these things with example. Plus if we are going to ask about advantages of using Bootstrap, so frankly speaking, it saves a lot of time, because you can save a lot of time and efforts using Bootstrap with the help of predefined design templates and classes. Plus it concentrate on other development work as well. And it is responsive in feature, because using Bootstrap you can easily create responsive websites that appear more appropriately on different devices and screen resolutions without any change in markup. You may say, if you are searching, for example, we will take example of tutorials point. You are searching it on your desktop, it will show you all the things, right? It will show you the taskbar, plus that search bar, address bar, the menu, side menu of tutorials point page, or if any ads are there, the contents of main page. Okay, so all these things are showed to the user or the client in a proper view. At the same time, when you are using in mobile, at that time also, the screen resolution, according to screen resolution, the things get in the proper manner, right? You are not viewing all the things in a big screen, like means in mobile you are not getting to see the things like your desktop. Okay, it will be shown in the way the mobile should display. Okay, so this thing is nothing but responsive website, and this is the main feature of this Bootstrap. Plus it is its consistent design. All Bootstrap components share the same design templates and styles through a central library, so the design and layout of our web pages will be consistent. So this is again a very good advantage of using the Bootstrap. Then it is very easy to use. I'm just revising the points, because we have already taken these things in the last session, but as far as the advantages are known, that thing is better to explain with this algorithm, or with this technique of Bootstrap. So I'm just repeating those things. So it is very easy to use, because anybody with the basic working knowledge of HTML, CSS and JavaScript can start development with Bootstrap. It is compatible with all the browsers, like it is created with modern web browsers in mind, and it is compatible with all the modern browsers like Chrome, Firefox, Safari, Internet Explorer, Opera, etc. And main thing, it is an open source, and the best part, it is completely free to download and use. So why should we use Bootstrap. It makes a responsive, faster web designing framework which is known for its simplicity, convenience, easy to use methods, large templates, and amazing web designs. Right? So we should use it because of responsiveness, development speed, consistency, customizable bootstrap, simplicity, easier to use and develop, its simple integration, plus packaged JavaScript components and pre-styled components, grids that are provided by Bootstrap. So many things are there. Why should we use the Bootstrap? And the packages that came under Bootstrap are CSS, components, customize, scaffolding, and JavaScript. So these packages contain some items like the CSS is we have seen it already in the second unit, that is cascading style sheets. It is used to style the HTML elements. Then the components in Bootstrap package, there are a lot of reusable components for drop downs, iconography, alerts, navigation, etc. Then customize it again. In the package, the components can be customized, less variable, and jQuery plugins to get the style. Plus, the scaffolding is it provides a basic structure with the grid system, link style, and background. And JavaScript, there will be JavaScript plugins. So whenever we create our first web page with the Bootstrap, we should add Bootstrap in the project via CDN. That's it. That is Content Delivery Network, because CDN performs CTS CDN's performance is benefit by reducing the loading time, and since they are hosting the files on multiple servers spread across the globe, so that when the user requests the file, it will be served from the server nearest to them. So much time is consumed with this technique. And in order to make the plain HTML file a Bootstrap template, just include the Bootstrap CSS and JS files, as well as required jQuery and popper.js using their CDN links. Okay, so you need to mention these things in your program, like with href we provide the link, or with just script source. Okay, so you have to mention all these links that are related to Bootstrap CSS and JS files. Okay, plus you have to include jQuery and popper.js using their CDN links. Okay, so all these things I have already shown you in the program, okay, how to include them. And we have also seen the classes, that is container class, and how to use the examples, like if you want to include the any code snippet, then here you can see the in the first example also I have shown you how to include the reference links or script source links. Okay, so you just need to mention those links so that you can get the desired output, or any output that you want to display on your website. Okay, plus contextual colors and backgrounds are also provided within Bootstrap, that also we have seen with two examples. Okay, so Bootstrap is providing so many things for your website generation and website look. Okay, so please make your site own site also with this with the help of these techniques. Okay, so that is enough for the Bootstrap. Now we will move to the next technology, that is JSF. So JSF is Java Server Faces. So it is a MVC web framework that simplifies the construction of user interface for several based application, or sorry, for server based applications using reusable UI components in a page. So basic thing about JSF is it stands for Java Server Faces, and it is a server side Java framework for web development in simple language. Okay, it is a server side Java framework for web development. Then JSF stands for Java Server Faces, which is an MVC web framework which focuses on simplifying building user interface for Java web application. Okay, and make reusable UI component easy to implement. So it is a server side component based user interface framework. Okay, you getting? It is a MVC web framework which focus on simplifying building user interfaces for Java web applications and making reusable UI component easy to implement. So it becomes a server side component that is best user interface framework. Okay, so this is the basic thing about JSF. Plus, JSF is a Java based web application framework that is proposed to simplify development integration of any web based user interfaces. Then, JSF is a pattern display technology which was formalized in a specification through the Java community process actually. Okay. It provides a facility to connect UI widgets with data sources and server side event handlers. And the JSF specification defines a set of standard UI components and provide an application programming interface for developing the components. It also allows the reuse and extension of the current standard UI components. Then what JSF does, it decreases the effort in building and maintaining the application, so which will run on the Java application server and will render application UI on the target customer. So these are things about basic JSF. JSF also facilitates the web application development by giving reusable UI components, making simple data transfer among UI components, managing UI state across the various server requests, plus enabling implementation of custom components and writing or wiring the client side event to server side application code. Plus, the JSF also provides multiple rendering capabilities that allow JSF UI components to render themselves differently depending on the client type. Okay, so these are the basic things that anybody must know about JSF. Okay, so basic thing that should be focused is it is a server side Java framework for web development in simple language. Okay, then it also provides an API, that is the application programming interface, to develop various types of components, and the existing standard UI components can be reused and extended using JSF. Okay, so we'll see the benefits and advantages of JSF. The JSF simplifies creation and maintenance of application. It reduces the effort in creating and maintaining application. So JSF facilitates web application development by providing reusable UI components, making easy data transfer between UI components, managing this UI state across multiple server requests, then enabling implementation of custom components, and wiring client side event to server side application code. So this is the beneficial part of JSF, and this is giving more advantages as per the need of any web developer. Then if you are talking about the architecture of JSF, first we need to see about the UI component model of JSF. So in the exam there can be a 2 marks or 4 marks question to explain the JSF UI component model. We'll see that also. And before directly moving to architecture, let's focus on few points of JSF UI component model. So JSF facilitates the programmer with the functionality to create advanced web applications from any set of UI components which can render themselves in various ways for different client types. For example, HTML browser, wireless or WP devices, okay, etc. So JSF provides core library, a collection of UI components, that is standard input elements of HTML, and third point, generation of additional UI component libraries as well as extended feature to existing components. So all these things are provided by JSF for making it a component model. Now we'll start the JSF architecture. Okay, so whatever things are provided by JSF that are helping it to make up a strong architecture. Okay, so 4 marks question can be asked regarding JSF architecture. Okay, so JSF is based on model view controller architecture, which separate logic from presentation, and the JSF technology is same as of any other Java web based technology. The Java servlet container is used to run it. So JSF contains Java Bean components as models, and but containing application specific functionality and data. And a custom tag library for representing event handlers and validators is used. A custom tag library for rendering UI components is also provided, and UI components represented as stateful objects on the server, and server side helper classes, validators, event handlers, and navigation handlers are used. Plus application configuration resource file for configuring application resources. So all these things are made and used for making a good architecture of JSF. So any JSF application contains the Java Beans components and custom tag library, okay, for representing event handlers and validators. Then user interface components, which are represented as stateful objects on the server. Plus it also uses helper classes on server side, and again it uses event handlers, validators, plus navigation handlers. And application configuration resource file that helps in configuring the various application resources. And the user actions are performed by different available controllers. The web page authors can create the UI, and managed bin utilizes the business logic. So these things are made for JSF's architecture. Okay, so with the help of its components, the JSF is used in many things. Okay, so we'll see what the architecture is made up of. Okay, so we can see there is mobile and computer given at side, and JSF library and tags are also there. So in the application server, all these things are getting into action. Okay. While mobile and computer are external utilities on which we are going to see our outputs. Okay, so JSF application is similar to any other Java technology based web application, and again it runs on the Java servlet container. And then there are controllers which can be used to perform user actions. Okay, we can see the controller like UI can be created by web page authors, and business logic can be utilized by managed bean. Okay, so you can see in the diagram there are managed beans in the controller part, also in the model part. Okay, so there are managed beans in model part, but the controller is overlooking all the things, so it can be controller part as well. So UI can be created by web page authors. Okay, and that business logic can be utilized by managed beans. Okay, so JSF provides several mechanisms for rendering any individual component, and it is up to the web page designer to pick the desired representation, and the application developer doesn't need to know which mechanism was used to render the JSF UI component. Okay, the developer can pick up anything from this programming. Okay, that's provided by JSF. So any technique can be picked up, and whoever will be the client, he need not to know about which mechanism have been used in it. So we can summarize JSF architecture as JSF application, and Java Bean classes are acting as a model and contain data and business logic. Okay, so JSF classes, and the Java Bean classes are acting as a model and contain data and business logic. Okay, so this is related to model part. So commonly a JSP or facelets, that is XHTML pages used for view. Then the JSF components are used to bind the view and model part. Okay, so in the architecture you can see there is view and model part, plus the controller is overlooking all these things. So there are JSF components, managed beans, JSF and JSP pages. So these JSF components are used to bind the view and model. Okay, and the there is like use component tree to do all this task, like get request, gathering, validating. Okay, so that things are done by the faces servlet. So faces servlet are part of controller. Okay, so what they will do, they will act as a controller, and they use component tree to do all the tasks like getting request, gathering, validating, and converting user input, put it into model objects, action, invocation, and render response. So all these things are done by faces servlet. Okay, which is under the controller part. So all these things made up a JSF web application, and then J2EE will be in the application server of that JSF architecture. So there are JSF library and tags also, which will be managed with a database, and the all these things made up the components and the proper architecture, by with the help of which the user gets the required output as its web development. Okay, so these things are about JSF's architecture. And if we are talking about the features of JSF, we will look into things that it provides a very clean and clear separation between behavior and presentation of web applications. So the JSF tag libraries are used to add components on the web pages and connect components with objects on the server. You can see in the diagram of architecture. So that library is also very beneficial. Okay, these tag libraries are used for adding components on web pages, and also they can connect the components with objects on the server. It also contains tag handlers that implement the components tag. And the JSF API provides components like input text, command button, etc. And it also helps to manage their status. So it also provides the server side validation, data conversion, defining page navigation, providing extensibility, support for internationalization, accessibility, etc. things are related to JSF API. Okay, and all these things make up a good architecture of JSF. And as we were seeing about the benefits and features of JSF, we have gone through the point of clean and clear separation between behavior and presentation of web applications. Then you can write the business logic and user interface separately with help of JSF. Then if we are talking about another point of Java server face page or feature, so JSF API are layered directly on top of servlet API, so that enables several various application use cases such as using different presentation technologies, creating your own custom components directly from the component classes, including the facelets technology in Java server faces. So facelets are nothing but the XHTML pages. Okay, that is extended HTML pages, and including all these things in your application directly from the component classes is possible with this JSF. Okay, and including the facelets technology in JSF 2.0, it provides massive advantages to it because facelet is now the preferred presentation technology for building JSF based web applications. Okay, then it is component based framework. Okay, so you might have seen in the architecture also the many components are making it a stronger architecture. Okay, so it is totally based upon the components. Okay, and as told, it is a server side components based framework, and it provides inbuilt components to build any web application. You can use HTML5 facelet tags to create any web application using JSF. The facelets technology is used. Expression language provides an important mechanism for creating the user interface, that is web pages, and to communicate with the application logic, that is managed bean. The EL represents a union of expression language. The EL meaning expression language, that is offered by Java server faces technology. Plus HTML5 is the new standard for writing web pages, and JSF version 2.2 offers an easy way for including these new attributes of HTML5 to JSF components, and also provides HTML5 friendly markup. Another point talking about JSF architecture or JSF feature is its ease and rapid web development. So JSF provides a rich set of inbuilt tools and libraries so that you can easily and rapidly develop any web application. And then it supports internationalization. So internationalization we have seen almost in each session of web services, this unit. Okay, so it supports the internationalization. Okay, that is translation with the help of JSF. Okay, and you can create application in the different languages with the help of JSF, and the application can be made adaptable to various languages and regions. The bin annotations are used. JSF provides annotations facility in which you can perform validation related tasks in managed bin, and this managed bin is part of the model, and it is good because you can validate your data in bin rather than in HTML validation. Then exception handling is also handled in JSF architecture. So JSF provides the default exception handling, so you can develop exception and bug-free web application. Templates are provided in the new version of JSF so that reusability of components can be done. Then you can create new templates, reuse template, and treat it as component for application. So there is Ajax support for inbuilt Ajax support is there for JSF, and so you can render application request to server side without refreshing the web page. And JSF also support partial rendering by using Ajax. And, then security point. The JSF provides implicit protection against this when state is saved on the server and no stateless views are used. So since a post back must then contain a valid javax.faces view state hidden parameter, and as talking about the LDA versions, the value seems sufficiently random in modern JF implementation. So stateless views and saving state on the client does not have this implicit protection. So all the things related to features, advantages, benefits, and the architectural point are covered in this scenario. So it is made up a very strong architecture with all these components, and the components things or the components features. Okay, so next part is JSF life cycle that we will see in the next session. So till this session it is enough. You just revise all the things that we have seen in this session. Okay, because JSF architecture is again very important thing. It is looking very easier as per the diagram point of view, but the meaning behind it is a vast, and because it is having a strong support component system. Okay, so we'll meet in the next session with JSF life cycle. Till that, just revise and take care. Thank you.